Hey guys, it's Sutter here, and welcome to another episode of Need for Speed Most Wanted Mod Showcase. And in this episode, we're going to be tackling another manufacturer's theme here, but at least this time, there's three different makes of cars rather than just the same, or three different models of cars rather than just the same model for you know what. But today we got a Lancia-themed episode, and we're going to be starting it off with, of course, the oldest of the three cars here, the ever so famous and lovely Stratos. One of the most interesting little mid-engine cars to me, in my personal opinion. There's just always this kind of weird, interesting charm to the car. And yep, as you can see, it does have body mods that you can put onto the car. Mostly it just affects this particular area here, although the last one does also add like a bit of a roll cage and bumper there. So we're gonna go with that one because it looks the best. And what we're gonna do here, we're gonna go in, of course, you can also put roof scoops on it, but again, you kind of already know my stature on that. I'm not gonna lie, I actually quite like that gloss paint there in that livery. And the best part, it can support vinyls. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to customs. There we go. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. Yes, this Stratos replaces the Mitsubishi Eclipse GT. So, which I think is the first Eclipse GT replacement we've had. I think. I can't remember. My memory sucks. So it should be interesting to see how this will do. This case, but anyways, there's only one way to find out, as always, in the case of my series at least. That is, of course, to go over to the Petersburg track, give every car I test 4 laps, and record the best lap time that we get out of it. So, as I mentioned, this replaces the Eclipse GT. I think it carries the same exhaust note as the I think it carries the same exhaust note as the Eclipse. I can't remember 100% though, so. But so far, from the looks of things, we might have a fairly interesting car on our hands. It's got some good little quick speed to it. Handling is not amazing, but it's not terrible either. Yep, and there is 6 gears. I kind of expected there would be, because, you know, the car hasn't quite reached that 200 area yet, as it does now, doing about 207. That 207 spot seems to be very common for quite a few cars I've been testing throughout this series so far. It just seems to be a recurring theme. First, we'll just knock that stuff out of the way. But yeah, this is a particularly a really nice looking mod. It's very nicely detailed. It just looks really well done and put together. Anyways, that was the first lap. We're not really gonna worry too much about the first one because, well, of course it's a warm-up lap, and it usually takes a lap to really get the feel of how these cars are. Anyway, so yeah, it's not as grippy through the corners as I would hope for, but it's not. It really isn't that terrible. I mean, at least it's very controllable and whatnot, so that's a good thing it's got going for it. As we come here, ooh, I may have gotten a little bit too close to that pole there, but not quite exactly hitting it, which is a good thing. There we go. This lap should be our. Oh, whoops! Okay. Let's not worry. As we get a 57.96 for the first lap, kind of, I guess, where I really expected this car to be. It was just under the 58-second territory because of the way the car was driving, really. Ooh, almost. I almost was able to find a really good way to cut through that section and keep a lot more speed, but it was not meant to be. Regardless, though, we're just gonna keep at it here, and let's see. Hope that we can find a better lap out of this Stratos. All right, no sweat. Let's see here. Yep, hit the brakes. I can cut through their relays. There we go. There's some time. We cut off about half a second to get a 57.35. Just gotta be very careful here. All right, now let's give this corner one more good try. See if we can hit it. A little better. I mean, I still had let off a little bit more, but that was all right. So can't really complain too much there. Whew. I'm just trying to find the groove for this car. Just gotta look for that groove. I mean, it's a fairly nice car. I would definitely say it's worth replacing the Eclipse GT over this. I never particularly cared for the last gen, or basically the 4th gen Eclipse. The car just never really appealed to me that much. I always felt the previous 3 generations before it were all more interesting cars. But so yeah, it's definitely worth putting the Stratos in its place. It's not much nicer car. Could have done that last corner a little bit better, but oh well. We still got the best lap out of that one, of 57.23, so an improvement every lap, which is nice. Very well then. So we're gonna take that. So that makes me happy. Anyways, next up we have, of course, the second of the Lancias, the 037, the one that Lancia was first using in Group B before they realized that 4-wheel drive really was the way to go to dominate rallies, and thus giving them the scariest fuck Delta S4 afterwards. You can't really put any vinyls on it, so, but thankfully the modder did at least put like 4 different like livery choices you can put on the car. So, and since Martini Racing is one of the options, you kind of guess I'm going to be going for that one, because you can't really argue with Martini Racing. Also, an interesting thing to note, that handling stat. No, I'm not skipping on the car. It's just that I can't. That's as much as it'll go. Apparently, for some reason, the modder made it so that the suspension of this car, Junkman is the only available part for it, which is very strange. Every other part does not have that. Is not skimped like that. But I don't. Anyway, but yeah. Another fairly interesting thing about the 037, that while this replaces the Audi A3, this is the first mod I've come across so far that actually gives you an engine sound file to replace. So it's got a more unique engine sound of it. What? Really? 128 miles an hour? Are you having a laugh there, mate? What? Getting all high pitched now, Jesus Christ. This thing is... Okay. I swear to God, this thing is fully maxed out. Why 128? Why? I mean, I understand, yeah, you know, you're trying to make it more like a rally thing, but come on, come the fuck on. This is when realistic starts to become too ridiculous. In fact, to be fair, I'm pretty sure the 037 in real life probably did more than fucking 128! Like, Jesus, come the fuck on. This is... Well, I hope you're all getting in tune for this. This is gonna be like to become the slowest vehicle that's not a bus. Like, Jesus Christ. I mean, if I were to use the nitrous, I can get a glimpse of 130. But what was this modder thinking? 128 is all this thing will do in a game like this. That is a terrible idea. With like, no, you don't want to do that at all. That's oh, Jesus Christ, what a joke. Look, modders, this is not how you make a car mod. I mean, the mod itself looks great and whatnot, and I mean, at least it handles, but only in 5th gear, and it can do only about 128 miles an hour. What on earth is this? Also, suspension is a bit wobbly too, which is adds to the what the fuck. It's just like... I don't know what else to say, really. I'm an absolute excuse me. I'm an absolute loss for words right now. I have every part I can put on this, and all it's giving me is 128 miles an hour. Wow, this is a new low for sure. Boy. Well, we're gonna get there eventually, because at least it's quicker than the buses. because, you know, the thing actually can turn. It actually turns really well. It's got an insane amount of grip. Then again, the car only does about 128, so I suppose it has to have at least something going for it. Look at that, 118.24. I accidentally lost my finger on the trigger there. Didn't mean to do that. But again, it's like, the way this car is driving right now, it feels like it really should have a 6th gear. But what really is it going to add to it? It's not really going to change much of anything. The car still can only do 128 miles an hour, which to me just doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't get it. Why would you have a mod only do roughly about 128? I mean, I thought the Gallardo from the last episode wasn't particularly very good. The 2013 Gallardo, with that thing only doing 175, when the car in real life can probably do just around 200. But this is 128 miles an hour in an Need for Speed game. Like, if you're trying to go for realism, you're doing it wrong. You really are. This is just bad. It's bad, all right. Yeah, I really can't do anything else to really make this thing go faster. This is all I can do. It's just, I'm just a complete loss for words right now. I really don't know how else to put it to you. I mean, the mod looks fine enough. It gives you, like, you know, livery options, including my favorite, the gloriously beautiful Martini livery, but still, this is silly. It's really silly to have this. It's like, wow. Just, the car that, of the three, I honestly expected this to be the fastest, because this is a former Group B car, for crying out loud. And 128 miles an hour. What is this? What the fuck is this? It really leaves me extremely baffled right now. Wow. It's just Christ almighty on a bicycle. Oh boy. Well, we're almost done at least. Once we're done with this, I can just never look at this mod again. Oh, what a joke that really was. Well, I guess we gotta settle with the best lap time of 118.24. So in terms of, when you exclude the buses, this is now like the slowest car in the game. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyways, let's hope that the last one isn't the same story, as we've got the final car, and a truly very successful rally car. Well, Lancia in general was very successful to begin with. The Delta HF Integrale, which actually has got a bit of some interesting body kits. It's got this really nice one here. I quite like this one personally. The second one here which is actually also fairly nice. And then it's got some of those body kits again, both like actual like racing liveries. Like this kind of literally looks like a Dirt 3 livery, I think, or something. Not quite sure about this one, but I really like this one a lot. And then this one has Speed Hunters and, you know, Need for Speed stuff on it, which I guess fits, obviously. But we're gonna go for this one, the Fidanza one. It looks really nice, so. Again, you can't really do much. I think maybe roof scoops are a thing. No? Okay, never mind. But yeah, you can't really do a whole lot to it. You can actually put paint vinyls on it, but obviously, since of course I already have a livery on this, that's gonna be kind of pointless. I will say though, if you do decide to liveries, if you go to the contest winners, it's got like 5 like special paints that I guess they're trying to be more realistic to what was actually available for the car at the time. So, you know, there is that. Now let's just hope to God we don't have another case of the 037, because Jesus Christ, the 037 in my opinion has now pretty much set the bar for how not to do a car mod. That's just, no, don't do it like that. Really don't. Okay, so already I can tell this is not going to be the same case. Thank fuck. Yep, already doing over 128. In fact, it's 150. There, yeah, this is already this is a much better car mod than what we were in earlier, because Jesus Christ, that was bad. I can't get my fucking mind off that. That takes the fucking cake. It really does. Oh, whoops. Anyways, honestly, this is a fairly interesting handling vehicle. It's not again anything really to write home about. But it's not really bad either. I'm just not setting it very good. Oh wow, actually, there's a little bit of slide tendency in this. It's got a little bit of surprises in this thing. Again, we're just gonna knock those out because I really need to remind myself you gotta do that every first lap, just so you don't have to worry about it in the later laps. Just God, I still can't get my mind off that fucking. I really still can't get my mind off that fucking 037. That was just no. That was the war. That was just unbelievably what the absolute fuck. So. Anyways, so yeah, I don't particularly think this is gonna get a very quick lap. It's got an interesting handling characteristic. It's not terrible. But you know, I guess in the long run, it also does leave a lot to be desired. So, you know, I can't. That's really all I got to say about that one. So, but that being said, almost I was 198. I really wanted to see 200 there, but it wasn't to be. Ah, careful now. Okay. Just gotta. Oh, it's that really weird tendency for this thing to get a little bit of slip. Makes it feel just really awkward to turn sometimes. It's a very interesting characteristic that I haven't really seen in much of any other car far, but still, it's, you know, again, it does leave a lot to be desired. So as I'm still pushing to get this car to go quick. Yeah, quick. That's all I can really say for some weird particular reason. Ah, that was bad. Oh shit, I somehow even managed to hit that fucking thing. Jesus Christ, I'm not really doing a good job with this car right now. I'm like literally letting this stand out. And the worst thing too is that the way this car drives, would be a huge step down, because this replaces the Lotus Elise, which, if you don't remember, was the second fastest vanilla car I tested in the game once you had all the Junkman parts spun on it. The only car that beat it was the M3 GTR, which, to be fair, you'd have to mod anyways, but thanks to NLG's excellent Need for Speed Most Wanted Extra Options mod that you can get, you can apply the mods to the car. So because when I first did it the first time around, because I didn't know about the extra options, I had to use a special save which included an M3 GTR with those parts originally put on it. So when I did that, I had to use that save, and I was originally thinking, okay, that's how you can do it. But thanks to NLG's extra options, you can now just easily do it yourself, which makes it a lot easier. So I really didn't do much of a good job with this particularly. But it's not an easy car to get the hang of. But 101.27, I guess, is really what we're gonna have to settle with, because I don't think it would have done particularly much better, regardless. So, damn, the Lancias, man, they're pretty interesting. The bunch that I tested. And now, of course, it means coming over to the leaderboard in 57th place, a tie for 57th, actually, with the E36 BMW M3. The fastest car of the day is the Lancia Stratos HF with a 57.23 second lap time, which means it is a nice improvement to use over the Eclipse GT, because that originally is currently in 71st, because that car did a 59.18. So yeah, you get it roughly about a near 2-second improvement with if you decide to switch to Stratos. So I would advise going for that if you, because again, it's a fucking Stratos. How can you help but not love the Stratos? At least that's how I feel. Anyways, going in for a bit further down, in 92nd place, we have the Lancia Delta HF Integrale doing a 1 minute 1.27, and that replaces the Lotus Elise, so yeah, you're probably better off sticking with the Elise for that one. And then finally, the slowest car of the day, well, considerably, in 99th place is it's one position below 100, which is shared by the 3 buses right now, is the Lancia 037 Group B with a 1 minute 18.24, which obviously replaces the Audi A3. Would be great if it could do a more realistic top, I guess, a more Need for Speed like top speed, I guess. But 128 fucking miles an hour is all that thing would do. Let's hope the next episode doesn't have cars like that. So stay tuned for that. Follow me on Twitter if you want to get updates as soon as possible for anything. Donate to my Patreon if you wish, not actually required. And as always, thank you guys for watching and take care.